Hello again, everybody. We're talking about whether you can eat healthily on a budget, and Vanessa Sturman is here with us to tell us more about it. I'm eating the nuts. They're fantastic. Tell us about what you think about the array in front of us.
I'm very impressed with this array. This is some of the cheapest foods we can get. We've got oats, we've got brown rice, tinned beans and tinned tomatoes, pull together a lentil bolognese or chickpea curry or tagine, whatever it is of the best food of your culture that you love to pull together with legumes and veg, raw carrots, fruit, frozen fruit takes a lot longer to go off, so reduces food waste as well.
And also frozen, am I right in thinking that sometimes the vitamin and kind of health qualities are higher of frozen fruit because they go straight into the process?
Yes, that's right. If they're frozen straight after picking, they can retain more of the vitamins and minerals.
Now, I was trying to offer some of these to my wonderful colleague, and he went, "Oh, I'd rather have the frozen peas."
Frozen peas are fantastic, and I'm going to make no apologies, and I will eat them live on television.
But you're eating them while they're still frozen. What do you mean? That's mad.
Well, watch and believe.
If you love the texture, we all love different things. And do you know what? We need to be eating more legumes. So that's things like the peas, the beans, that can actually reduce our risk of disease. Only about 1 in 10 people are even getting the amount of fibre they need every day, which feeds our good gut bacteria, keeps us more full. So go ahead, I'm supporting you eating the peas.
I think these products are really great staples to have in your cupboard all year round as well, right? I think right at the beginning of lockdown, I was really fortunate that I had lots of kidney beans, lots of chopped tomatoes, and actually you can have quite a lot of different meals just off one tin alone, can't you?
That's right, yes. I mean, our basics are things like the beans, even maybe a bit of coconut milk, use the tins of tomatoes. They can go in so many different dishes along with some herbs and spices. And they're fantastic for bulk cooking as well. So don't be shy to buy lots of these, especially when they're on offer. They'll keep in your cupboard for a long time. And don't be shy to make big pots of food, which will also reduce your need to eat out and takeaways.
So what are some of the kind of common misconceptions around the affordability of eating healthily?
I think people think, oh, I'm going to eat healthily. I need to buy health products. I need to buy things that say healthy or say gut healthy on them. I'm not saying those products are bad products, but they tend to be very expensive. And it's these basics, these whole foods that we've got here, oats, they don't look special, but they are so fantastic for our health. Very cheap, brilliant morning staple. And we also don't have to eat organic. That's another misconception. And organic food is so expensive. Most people cannot afford that. And you don't need to eat organic to be healthy.
What about with so I saw something on the internet that said, eat organic if it comes to soft fruits because they don't have any cover on them like bananas do, but other stuff you don't need to worry about. Would you agree with that?
So you can do that, but I also wouldn't encourage most people to do that at all because most people just can't afford it. And actually, those foods are still very safe, very beneficial for our health, but it's just not in reach for most people anyway to buy those foods organic.
What's the best way to go about getting protein? Because people are looking for meat-based protein. That's often where the expense comes in, right?
Absolutely. So there's protein in all of these products, but obviously less in some. You don't want to have constant tins of tomatoes to try and get your protein. That wouldn't be sensible. But our peas, our beans, the kidney beans, the chickpeas, they're fantastic sources of protein. Other really great sources of protein, even things like mushrooms are really great. But mushrooms are lovely, even going things for, tofu, tempeh. So those are tempeh's fermented soya beans. They're really, really fantastic. You can get that in the supermarket. Plain tofu, which you can fry with a bit of soy sauce, is wonderful. Or edamame beans. So you get those in a lot of Asian-style restaurants. Boil those up, put those in your stir-fry. That's really going to boost the protein, along with things like your peas and beans.
Oh. And would you recommend going to a market over a supermarket when it comes to fruit and vegetables? Is it that the price is a little better, or does it depend?
I think it really depends. And I think, shopping around is a really fantastic thing to do. If you put a little bit of time into that in the beginning, check online as well. Even get your phone out when you're in the supermarket. Could I have got this cheaper online? Have a little look, put those favourites in your shopping basket on whatever it is that, online as well. But you're going to get some food markets that are very expensive, depends on the area, and some that are very cheap. And there is nothing wrong with going to a supermarket over a market. Get what actually works for you.
You're not mad on these potatoes?
Oh, no, I love those potatoes. I was suggesting maybe we don't eat them raw.
No, I agree with you on that, yeah. Oh, OK.
Oh, I am so into these potatoes. Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, both are fantastic. And, you know, you can make a baked potato meal, even with a tin of baked beans or your own homemade beans. You can put lots of herbs and spices in there and lots of different types of beans, along with some other veg, frozen veg, maybe extra peas or edamame beans for more protein if you wanted. But you can do whatever you wanted, you know, maybe adapt what you've already done. Chips, lovely. Chop them up, put them in the air fryer or the oven, mash them. There's so many different ways we can use potatoes and root vegetables. And the more variety we get, the better it is for vitamins and minerals and our gut health. So if you wanted to be fancy and add a parsnip in there or something like that, welcome to do that.
OK, taking it back to British politics for a second, I'm sorry, I have to. So there's a politician for the Reform Party who was originally in the Conservative Party called 30p Lee. And he used to go on all the time about how you could make a meal for 30p, a healthy homemade meal, and how people needed to get to grips with their kitchens a bit more. Do you think there is some truth in that people should be more experimental and more willing to make big batch cooking at home, and it could be as cheap as something like, I don't know, 30p, maybe not now with inflation?
Yes, no, maybe not quite 30p, but there's a lot of truth in that. Okay. But we do have to look at the barriers that might stop some people doing that. There is an education barrier there. There's a perception of time, but actually bulk cooking saves you time because you're not doing it every night. But yes, 100%. If you make a load of grains at once, and you can freeze them as well, so you're not wasting them. And, you know, one packet of grains is really not very expensive at all and goes a long way. You know, make your big, we'll go back to the lentil bolognese. That's a really, really easy one. Maybe you have pasta with it and some frozen greens. Yes, for one meal, that is really not going to be very expensive. But we do need to help people with education on how to do this sort of thing as well, and show them that some of these really healthy foods are actually very, very cheap.
Not quite 30p Lee.
Not quite 50p Lee.
So price is subject to change without notice.
I'm going to show you a top tip with you. You know the tins there. You know how to double your wardrobe space with one of those tins? The pull can thing on the top. So when you save that and you put one on your coat hanger and then you put the over through that coat hanger and you put another coat hanger at the bottom and yeah, I know, right? I know.
So many uses. You can use them as weights as well. You know, we all need to get more exercise. You know, if you don't have hand weights at home, do not worry. Or even carrying this stuff home when you buy it in bulk, if you are able to. It's just another form of exercise with many advantages.
It's working. It's working. Do you have a favourite? Here's something from left field. Bob Marley song.
Do I have a favourite Bob Marley song? Three Little Birds. There you go. Wonderful, wonderful song.
Have a listen to this one.